portion of Guiding Light is presented by Coast Soap, the refreshing soap that brings you back to life. Coast Deodorant Soap, the eye-opener. And by Prell, the shampoo that frees your hair to be beautifully full and thick.
Now, you see, I've been called out of town unexpectedly. I don't know when I'll return, but I promise you once I do return, I will crate the artifacts and the Golden Cradle and bring them to New York personally. Yes. Well, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Fritz has taken your bags and Helena's out to the car. You know, I had to help her to pack. She did everything possible to put it off.
Well, I'm sure she would.
Mr. McCord, I think you're making a terrible, terrible mistake in believing that Helena is going to help you in any of this.
Don't worry about that, Mrs. Renfield. I'll force her to cooperate once we get to London. If she refuses, then I'll threaten to turn her over to some of Silas's friends. She seems awfully terrified of them.
Well, I just think that's part of an act. Just another little scheme of hers to make you believe that she's Silas Crocker's enemy. Don't trust her. Not for a minute.
Well, as I told you before, I'm forced to. She's the one chance I have of finding Crocker and finding Nola before... Well, look, Mrs. Renfield, once again, Nola is in danger, and it's all my fault. So I must find her. In the meantime, I've contacted Gunther. He'll come and stay at the house while I'm away.
And I've contacted the kennels. They will send 2 new guard dogs out to replace Damien and Lucifer.
Well, dogs didn't seem to keep Silas away before. I'll feel much better once Gunther is here fully armed.
Very well. I wish you a safe journey. I'm deeply concerned about you. And after you've found Nola, I hope that you will start to think of yourself. Fritz just took my bags, but I wish there was some way I could get you to give up this foolish idea. Even if I could find some of Silas's friends, they'd never tell me anything. And you and I could both be killed if Silas even suspects we're on his trail.
Helena, I don't want to hear any more of your melodramatic nonsense. Now, we're going, and that's final.
Excuse me, Mr. McCoy. I'm ready to drive you to the airport, but we have to hurry, not much time.
Well, thank you, Fritz. Mrs. Renfield, you know where to reach us in case anyone in Springfield hears from Nola.
Yes.
Now, if the authorities come while I'm away and ask any questions about me or where I'm at, you must tell them that I was called away on an urgent business trip. Now, under no circumstances are you to tell them that this trip has anything to do with Nola's disappearance.
I hope they don't ask any more questions. Lieutenant Wyatt was after me for an hour after Mrs. Renfield told him that I cleaned Miss Nola's room the night she disappeared because Miss Manzini wanted to move in right away. And then Lieutenant Wyatt kept asking me over and over if I saw anything that might be evidence of a struggle there. And I said, no, the room was just the way Miss Nola left it, except for that old coin that belonged to Miss Manzini.
What coin was that?
Well, it was gold. It was very old, and Miss Manzini said it was Greek, and she was happy for me that I found it for her.
Silas's lucky coin.
Oh, no, it's not that at all. It's just something I found. Don't you think I would have told you and the police if I had found Silas's lucky coin?
Show it to me, Helena.
I don't know what I did with it. We're late for the airport. We should be leaving.
This eagerness of yours to go to London touches me to no end, but I want to see this coin. You're a liar, Helena. It's Silas's lucky piece, which means you've known all along that Silas Crocker came here and took Nola.
Oh, don't you think your mother would enjoy it?
Well, I'm sure she would, but I don't think I'll ever be able to convince her to stay at Ed's at night as long as Nola's gone.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure she'd enjoy it, and the pool is there. I know it would take Tony's mind off of her.
Yeah, well, I haven't given up entirely on the idea. Ollie Reardon's very stubborn. We got it from her. She's pretty hard to budge once she's made up her mind.
Hi. Well, by some miracle, I'm ready to leave. I've talked to Sarah and Adam. They know my schedule. They know where I'll be in Toronto in case they have to reach me in case of an emergency.
Ah, don't worry about us. It's going to run smoothly while you're gone.
Yeah?
I hope everything goes okay with Rita.
Well, a fast, civilized divorce. That's what I want. No bitterness. I hope you know the pool is there to be used, so please, use it.
Okay, I'll tell Tony we should go there instead of Laurel Falls.
Good. What do you say? Want to go?
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Maureen, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Floyd. I've been real busy today because I'm getting everything in order for Ed to leave tomorrow.
Ah. Well, I just want to let you know I'm going to be by the boarding house after work tonight to visit Kelly Louise since Nola's not there. But don't worry, I found out that Nola skipped town, Mike Bauer told me.
Well, I guess you would have found out sooner or later, but please don't worry about Kelly Louise while Nola's away. She's being very well taken care of.
Well, I'm sure of that.
Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to you when you get home.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye.
So, Floyd, when are you having your next big party?
Well, in fact, Josh just told me that Air Supply are coming to Springfield at the beginning of next week, and they're going to be staying over at my house for a couple of nights. So, I guess then. And Josh is going to New York tomorrow to firm things up, so I'll know for sure.
Oh, good. Talked to Leslie Ann. She told me you bought a car about, a city block long.
Yeah. But I'm going to still hold on to the old one so I can drive it to work here because the parking space is not big enough for the limo.
Oh, I'll tell you, you've come a long way since taking me out for beer and pizza.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, sometimes I miss the way things were back then. You know, everything was a lot less complicated.
Well, I must say, I think you're doing a great job of keeping your head straight. I don't think the success has changed you one bit at all.
Well, I hope not, Hillary. I appreciate that. You know, Leslie Ann has helped in that department. I don't know what I'd do without her, really.
No, I don't think you'll have to worry about finding out.
Yeah. So, did you hear that Nola left town again and left Kelly Louise with her mom?
Yeah, I heard that. I know everybody's really worried about her.
Well, I'm not worried about Nola. She's only doing what she wants and thinking of herself as usual. But I'll tell you, she's done me a big favor this time by skipping town. I mean, even Mike Bowers told me that's going to help my case.
Floyd, as long as you and I have known each other, we've always been honest, all right?
Yeah.
Now, I know everybody else is pussyfooting around about this custody case. I just have to tell you how I feel. Now, I understand how much you've been hurt. And, you know, I've never been a big champion of Nola's. But I think she's been a terrific mother to Kelly Louise. And I think we really should wait and see what reason she had for leaving town before you try to use it to take the baby away from her. Look, I like you too much to stand by and watch you regret doing something out of hurt or anger. That's it. That's the end of my lecture. I just had to say it.
That's wonderful news, Bill. I can't wait to tell Kelly. Okay, I'll check in tomorrow for messages at the desk. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. You are not going to believe this.
Believe what? I could tell that something pretty exciting had happened from your end of the conversation.
Listen, they've decided to change the last shot of the location, so that tomorrow they're going to be scouting a new place on the other end of the island, which means I have the whole day off.
Really? Oh, that's fantastic.
Now, tonight, we don't have to go in early. We can go to that big hotel that we passed when we were sightseeing and have a nice dinner and dance all night long.
Oh, it's been so long since one of us hasn't had an early call. I've forgotten what it's like to stay in bed all morning.
You know, you never did tell me where you were this afternoon when I came home for lunch and I spoke to Ed on the phone.
Yeah, well, it's a secret. But you'll find out about it.
I hate secrets.
Yeah, I know, and I do too. And I know we promised we would never keep secrets from each other. Listen, I tell you what, we won't call it a secret. We'll call it a surprise. Is that better? Honey, what's wrong?
Nothing. What could possibly be wrong? You're here with me and we have off all day tomorrow, but tomorrow there are a few things I want to talk to you about, okay?
Well, I know it's about the third or fourth time you've said that. Maybe we should, let's just make the time right now and talk about whatever it is.
No, tonight's for us. We're just going to have fun. Anything serious we have to discuss, we'll discuss tomorrow, okay?
If you're ready for the fullest hair you can have,
Watch it wake up with Prel.
to the full, fuller, fullest it can be.
Watch it wake up with Prel.
If you're ready for the thickest hair you can have,
Watch it wake up with Prel.
to the thick, thicker, thickest it can be.
Watch it wake up with Prel.
Prell's Fullness Formula wakes up tired hair with lather that lifts and separates each strand, so your hair has all the body it needs to be its fullest, thickest, fluffiest.
So watch it get full. Watch it get thick.
For really beautiful hair.
Watch it wake up with Prel.